Hi, everybody. Welcome back to class. So today we are going to need some props for class. So I'm at the gym. I will be using foam blocks. However, toilet paper would work really well because it's stackable, which is something that you'll need. Or if you have any other sort of foam blocky type things at home that can be stacked up, that won't hurt if you accidentally knock them over or step on them or anything like that. So if you need a second to go grab them, you can, and then we will get started. So once you grab your stuff, we're going to start with a warm-up. So you're going to put them on the floor 3 in a row or 4, however many you want to grab. And then make sure that there's a little bit of space in between each one so that you can do things over and around the objects without stepping on them or knocking them over. So go ahead if you need to grab them, and then I will show you what they look like when they should be on the floor. All right, so hopefully you have something. You're going to put them on the floor. I have my 3 foam blocks. Good. So to start, you're just going to run 3 laps around your objects. Go ahead. Good. One more. Awesome. All right. So this time, you're going to jump over. Hands can be on your hips or by your side. Doesn't matter. Good. And then you can jog back. Go ahead. 2 more times. Good. Last one. Good. All right. This time, kind of like a straddle jump, doesn't need to be nearly as big as your straddle jump would be. So more like the bottom half of a jumping jack with your legs. You're going to jump them open as you go over the blocks. Good. And then you can jog back. And do it again. Good. Last one. Okay, harder. Good. Okay. This time, going down forward, you're going to run zigzag through the objects. When you get to the end, you're going to come back going zigzag through backwards, okay? So you'll run down forward, zigzag through, get to the end, go backwards. Good, and then go forward. And backwards. Good, one more time forward. And backwards. Awesome, good job. Okay, last one. Just gonna walk 1 lap around, halfway down on your heels, and then the second half on the way back on your toes. So we're going halfway on your heels, just with those calves, work those ankles and shins, and then on the way back on your toes. Wonderful. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to grab all of your blocks, bring them over to one spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice some more jumps real quick before we get started. We're going to practice some straddle jumps over. So you're going to start with 1 block. You're going to be facing your block, so belly button should be pointing towards it. You're going to straddle jump up and over, and every time we're going to add another object onto the tower to make it higher and make it more difficult. So the first one, just 1 block. You're going to jump up and over, try and get those legs out to the side, nice and big, and then land on the other side. You're going to do 3 jumps over at each level. So we're at level 1, 1 object. We did 1 jump, 2 more to go. Good, and then 1 more to get to number 3. Good. All right. Now, you're going to add your your second block onto your tower. So now we're up to level 2. So again, super big straddle. When you go over, you want to make sure that your knees are pointing up to the ceiling, okay? Or sky if you're outside, wherever. So again, feet start together. We're straddle jumping over and landing 2 feet on the other side. Good. That was 1. We're trying to get to 3 jumps over. 2. And last one. 3. Beautiful. All right. After your 3 jumps on level 2, you're going to add the third object to your tower for level 3. And then we'll do 3 jumps over this level as well. So this one is pretty high, so you really got to make sure you're jumping nice and high over. You can also use your arms to swing to give you some momentum as well. So they'll start behind you, and then as you go, they'll swing either out towards your toes, out to the front. Maybe you even swing them so much that they go up by your ears. I don't know. But you want to make sure that you swing them to help you get over because it's pretty high this time. So don't start too close, but don't start too far away either. Make sure you got enough room between you and the tower. And then big jump, straddle jump over, land on the other side. Try not to knock it over. All right, 3 jumps. Go ahead. Good. You want to be about a foot away. So if you put your foot right up against the tower and then stand about where your heel is, that's about how far you want to be. So number 2. Woo! Not my best. Good. Okay, we got 1 more to hit number 3. Here we go. Legs together. Big jump. Swing those arms. Here we go. Last one. There we go. Awesome. All right. Good job, guys. So you can leave your block tower here for now. You don't need it yet. We are going to do a little bit of a warm-up stretch. So we're just going to start with our arms, swinging them up and down, back and forth, up and down, back and forth, up and down, back and forth. Good. Stretch one arm across. Good. And switch. Good. Staying in your straddle. We're reaching over to our foot. Shoe is untied again. And go to the other side. And hands on the floor in the middle. Good. And then you're going to stand. One hand out. You're going to press your fingers down. Good. Switch other hand. Good. And then you can have a seat on the floor in a straddle. We're just leaning over to one side. Try not to let your big toes drop to the floor. Toes up. They can still be pointed though. And switch. Good. And then you can walk your hands out in the middle. Good. And then you're going to sit in a pike. Cross one foot over. And we're going to make some circles. Good. Give that knee a hug. Good. And then switch other foot. Make in some circles. And give that knee a hug. Good. All right. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to work on our handstands, but more specifically our levers, which is the beginning half of the handstand and the end of the handstand. So if you think about a handstand in three parts, you have your beginning where you kick up, your middle where you're upside down in your handstand, and then your end where you're kicking down and finishing back in your lunge position. So today we're going to work on the two end pieces, or the lever parts of your handstand that will help you when kicking up and coming down from your handstand, and how that transitions into other skills that you do as well. So, or on other pieces of equipment. So we're doing them today on the floor, but this also will help with control, balance, and strength when doing your handstands on the beam, working this lever technique into our handstands and out of our handstands. So what we're going to do first is I just want everybody to do 3 handstands and kind of think about, while you're doing your handstand, what your body is doing. So yes, we start in a lunge, then we're in a handstand, and then we finish in a lunge. And those are mostly the points that we talk about when we're in class. But I really want you to think about what your body is doing. What is your right leg doing? What is your left leg doing? What are your hands doing? What is your head doing? What is your belly doing? All of the different things while you're going through your handstand. So each time, try and notice, you're going to do 3, something different that your body is doing that you never really paid attention to before. Okay, so we're doing 3 handstands on your own. I'll do a couple with you. Here we go. Good. So that was 1. We're going to get to 3, so you can go ahead, do 2 more handstands, sort of thinking about your kick up, what's happening, what you're doing, what positions you're hitting, your actual handstand, and then your kick down, what your body is doing, what your legs are doing, what you're thinking about. Good. So after you finish your 3, if you need a drink like I do, you can grab some water. If not, you can finish your 3 handstands, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay, so today we're focusing on the end pieces of our handstands, our levers. So when we're in a lever, we start just like a handstand in our lunge, and we kind of hit, as we go over, a T position with our body. Then our fingers will tap the floor. Your hands aren't flat. As your back leg rises with a straight knee and a pointed toe. So you're levering yourself up and down while keeping one leg on the floor the whole entire time. So a lever would look like this. You're starting in your lunge like you would a handstand. You reach over, tap the floor with your fingers, T, stand back up. Good. You also hit that T position on the way down. I just forgot to mention it. So one more time, a lever would look like this. Lunge, T, fingers, foot, T, foot. Now, my arms are staying up by my ears the whole entire time. They're never coming down. I'm squeezing my belly for balance, and I'm kind of grabbing the floor with my toes a little bit to help me have a nice base of my foot to balance on. I'm also just having my fingertips touch the floor. The hands are not flat. There's no weight on my arms, okay? And then I lever myself back up to my lunge position, keeping my arms up by my ears the whole entire time, okay? So let's everybody try 2 more levers. Here we go. Hit that T, tap, T, lunge. One more time, keeping those ears covered so your head should not be sticking out like this. I shouldn't be able to see your ears. Lever and back up. Beautiful. So now you probably just did those on your good leg, which is the leg that you normally would use for your cartwheel or to kick up to your handstand. Now you're going to try 3 levers on the opposite side because we want to be even. We want to be working both legs, okay? So other leg is going to be in front. Again, we're not kicking all the way up to a handstand, so no worries. Your left leg will stay on the floor the whole time, or your right, depending on which way you're going. So we're in a lunge. We're going to T over, tap our fingers, leg is straight and pointed, T, and then stand back up, okay? You're going to try 2 more on your opposite leg. So if you just did right, you're going to try 2 more on your left. If you typically do left, you're going to do 2 more on your right. Go ahead. So we want to work both sides, both legs, so that we're nice and even. This helps translate into doing your opposite leg cartwheel and just being strong on both legs so that one leg isn't more dominant than the other. Wonderful. Okay. After you've done your 3 with your opposite side, you're going to need your stackable objects. So whether I'm using foam blocks, if you have toilet paper at home, works really great for this. You can also, if you have some sort of block type thing that can be stacked, that's fine as well. You're going to need 3 of them. If you're using toilet paper, maybe you could use 4. They're a little smaller than the foam blocks. So what you're going to do is in your lever, nice and controlled, you're going to pick up the top block, move it over, and start a tower next to it. Stand back up to your lunge. Next object, pick it up, put it on the new tower. All the way until you get your tower from this side over here to this side. So you can do it with me, or you can watch the first one so you know what's going on. I'm starting with my right leg in front, so I'm going to have my tower towards my left side a little bit, okay? I'm going to stand far enough away that I have to reach for the blocks, but not too far that I can't reach the blocks, okay? So here we go. We're starting in our lunge, and we're reaching over. We're trying to be nice and controlled. We stand up. We hit that lunge position, and now I'm going to start a tower on the floor next to it, hitting all of my positions, my T, my lunge, and my T, okay? Here we go. Next object. Keeping your head between your arms. Don't let it stick out. Good. And then your last object. Whoop. Lost my balance there. Good. Okay. Once you get your tower to the other side, you are going to use your opposite leg in front to move your tower back over, okay? So we talked about wanting to have strong legs for both, so we're going to practice it on the other side now. You might notice that it could be way trickier, or maybe you surprise yourself and you actually have pretty good balance and strength on your other leg, even though you don't use it as often as your dominant side. So now I'll have my left leg in front. My tower is more on my right side as I pick up my blocks and shift them over to make my tower on the other side. All right, when you're ready, go ahead. So you have lunge, T over, lunge, lever over to start your new tower. Don't let your head stick out like this. I shouldn't be able to see your chin or your ears. You should be tucked in the whole time. Keep going. Try and get your tower all the way over to the other side. Woo. Definitely harder on the opposite side for sure. There you go. Good. All right. Once you get the tower back to the original side, you're going to go through this one more time. Getting your tower from this side to the other, and then using your non-dominant leg, so your opposite leg, to get it back to the beginning side. So one more time, over and back, okay? Go ahead. Awesome. So remember, you're trying to hit all your positions, your lunge, your T, your lever over, T, lunge, keeping those arms up, head in, ears covered. Awesome. So once you get your blocks over and then you get them back with your opposite leg, we are going to try just some regular handstands now that we've worked on the control pieces in the beginning and the end of our handstand. So really working the end pieces. We're going to put the whole thing together now and see how it goes. So you're going to be in your lunge, and I really want you to think about trying to hit those shapes that we talked about. So starting in your lunge, head in, tummy in, getting to that T position, and then kicking up to a handstand, T, come back down to lunge, okay? So here we go. We're starting in lunge. We're going to T over, kick up, and T to stand. Good. I want you to try 2 more handstands. Go ahead. Trying to think about all of those positions we just worked with those lever drills, putting them together into our handstand to make it a complete skill. So we're doing the whole thing now. Lunge, T over, handstand, T lunge. Great. You guys can try one more. Go ahead. Fantastic. Great. All right. After you've done your 3 handstands, you're going to need 2 of your blocks. All right. So you're going to sit with your legs together on one side. You can kind of turn your fingers towards you to help with balance. And what you're going to do is keeping your legs together, we're going to lift them up and over to the floor on the other side. Now, when you do this, don't just lift the legs and smash them off the floor, okay? Nice and controlled, squeezing your belly. We're going up and over 10 times. Here we go. 1, 2. Don't let your shoulders touch the floor either. You're sitting up. 3, 4. Legs together. 5, 6. Extra points if you point your toes. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. All right, now we are going to try some sit-ups. A little different than we typically do. So you're going to start laying down flat and then sit all the way up. But to make it tricky, you have 2 options. So you can either just hold one block or object over your head, legs together. You would lay down, tap the block on the floor, and then sit up. That's option 1. Or if you'd like to make it super tricky, you can grab 2 objects, putting the ends of them together, and then holding them up for your sit-ups. We're going to do 10 of them, so whichever way you would like to do, 1 block would definitely be easier than 2. The goal is to not let your arms bend and have your objects touch your head, okay? So you're going to do 10 sit-ups. We're going to try not to let them touch our head. Here we go. We're starting on the floor. So laying down, we sit all the way up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't let them touch your head. Don't let your arms bend. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Good job. All right. Now, we're going to do 3 more handstands, working our levers that we just did. And because we just did some core exercises, our balance should be a little bit better now. So we're going to try 3 more handstands. Try and hold them as long as you can. Trying to work on your lever positionings at the beginning and the end of your handstand, holding your handstand, squeezing your belly, squeezing your bum, legs together, toes pointed, okay? All right, 3 handstands, try and balance, focusing on all the drills we just did for our lever. Oh boy. Okay, or go for a walk. If that's what you're doing. Did not mean to do that, but that's okay. All right, good. So you're getting to 3. So go ahead, number 2. Awesome. And then I'll try one more with you guys. Number 3, we're trying to hold it. I'm not very good at holding my handstands. I always end up blocking. So really working that lever, squeezing tight, try and balance. Come on down. Go ahead. Last handstand for the day. I didn't hold very long, but good. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed class today. Got some crazy hair. Have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you back here next week. Bye.